The customer experience doesn't look like it used to. Everything has become about making a connection, about treating people as individuals, communicating in real time, and exceeding every expectation. When your company reaches out to someone, you need to truly reach them. It's a new kind of customer communication.
It's almost worked, huh? Too good to be true. Good morning, everyone. How's everything so far? No, yes. Okay. Few simple rules. When I ask a question, you answer with claps. It's really simple. Unless it's like a boring question. So, I saw people taking notes in the previous keynote. It's always great to see people doing that because you know the content is meaningful. So, great way to start the day. One thing I didn't agree with was the whole notion about kids not using their phones anymore. I've been 19 years old that have been calling Apple so many times in the last 5 years. They have a ring group on his name. Try it. Call Apple, and it says for Eli, dial 1. Everybody else, dial 2. It's a true story. So, very exciting for our keynote for you today. We're going to talk about what we have launched, what we are launching, why we are launching it. It's going to be amazing. So, stay tuned. So, here's our welcome. Talkdesk's vision was always leading through technology. We are not a telephony company. We're a startup company. And as Tiago said, we're in this market competing with telephony companies. Some of them are 30 and 40 years old. Some of them have launched, the last time they launched a feature was 3, 4, 5 years ago. And they pride themselves on being this type of companies. And so many other markets have been reinvented. Salesforce reinvented CRM 17 years ago. NetSuite reinvented ERP, and now Talkdesk is reinventing the call center space through technology, and you're going to see a lot of technology today, I promise you that. But before we talk about the future, let's go through a quick, brief history of the call center space. 1995, if you're old as I am, you remember that at 1995 we had no internet and no mobile phone. It sounded unbelievable. We didn't have them. So if you want to do business with any company, we had only two ways. One of them was walking into a branch, and the other is picking up the phone and calling and trying to get your business done. Think about these times. Thousands of calls a day to call centers. All of them are transactional calls. And call centers were designed as such. They were small and crowded. They were designed more like sweatshops and like the places where people work at. The technology was all about efficiency. How many calls can we take an hour? How fast can we get this ticket printed and sent to the customer? They're not about customer service. 10 years later, the world was completely different. Everything is e-commerce. Everything is self-service. Mobile is here. Internet is here. And many companies thought that we can actually cut away the service person. We don't need to have a person on the phone because why would people want to call this horrible call center from the 90s? They will send an email, get an email back, and resolve the issue. But another 10 years has passed, and if you think about it, even more can be done now with your mobile phone or on the web. And with this, people don't need to call customer service teams for anything mundane anymore. If you are calling a service center, you actually have a reason. For you as a company, it's either an opportunity to serve a customer better, opportunity to upsell, or an opportunity to fix a problem that without fixing it, you might lose a customer. So why are people going back to the phone? Why do you see this trend of people going back to the phone? There are three reasons for that. One of them is the mobile phones. They're literally glued to our hands. And by the way, I'm super happy that not too many people are on the phones right now. I mean, you're listening. Awesome. So, but for most of the rest of the day, our phones are glued to our hand. We're using them all the time. This mobile phone, thank you to Apple that killed the keyboard that BlackBerry invented, but these mobile phones are really, really good in making and receiving calls, but are not really excellent in writing long emails. So you're sitting there and you want to contact customer service. What are you going to do with your phone? Write a long email or just click dial and talk with someone right away? So this is the first reason. The second reason is actually this real-time revolution. We're living in this amazing era, especially in San Francisco. We can click a button and get a product delivered to us in an hour with Amazon Prime. We can click a different button, different app, and get food delivered to us in 45 minutes with a company like DoorDash. We can click a third button and get an Uber come to us in 3 or 4 minutes. All of it is on demand, real time. So the product we're consuming now happens in really short time period. When you consume a product in an hour, you're not going to wait for a 24 hours email service cycle that we're used to. You want to get an answer right away and drive people to use phone again. And the third reason is what I called the Tony Hsieh phenomena, or the Zappos phenomena. Tony Hsieh, Zappos, Amazon, after the acquisition, all popularized the idea of customers for life, of investing in customer service as a strategy. You no longer do it because you need to. It's no longer a cost center. You do it because it helps the business. Because if you retain a customer and keep them for life, you actually can make more money. So more and more companies are looking at customer retention as a strategy, and they don't only do it because they have to, they do it because they want to. And a great example for a company that thinks this way is one of our customers, DoorDash. So you all know DoorDash. This is this magical company that you click a few buttons and you don't have to cook anymore. The food is delivered to you in 40 minutes. Now, it looks really simple. You click a few buttons on the app and the food arrives, but it's actually a pretty complicated business. You have really busy restaurants. If you've been in San Francisco restaurants, they are busy. On one side, you have hungry customers on the other, and you have drivers, as they're called dashers, that are connecting this two and trying to kind of get this food delivered to this customer on time without stepping on it. So when you look at this business and you repeat it thousands of times for every meal, lunch, dinner, you're going to make mistakes. The restaurant's going to make mistakes. The customer's going to order the wrong thing. There's no way to avoid it. So the only way for DoorDash to keep their customers for life is actually provide fantastic customer service. So DoorDash agents answer the call right away, and they're empowered to solve any problem real time. I actually started my first experience with DoorDash was an error the restaurant made. DoorDash solved it in a minute, and I'm still a customer. This is the power of great customer service. So as I said before, Talkdesk is leading with innovation. We have not designed a product for the transactional call centers of the 90s. We designed a product for customer-led call centers of the 2015 and 2016. When we launched Talkdesk 4 years ago, we were the first 100% cloud-based call center solution. All you needed to use Talkdesk was a pair of headsets, internet connection, and a browser. This is it, and you had a call center out of the box. 2 years later, we launched a 4-day integration. No other product in the space had so many integrations. So we allowed customers to virtually connect to any source of customer data in their business. So when a customer calls in, the agent no longer fumbles and say, let me put you on brief hold as I spell your name. Is it Shamia? Is it this? Is it that? And 3 minutes later, you actually just started a meaningful conversation. We want to allow the agent to have a meaningful conversation with a customer in second 5 versus in second 50 or 2 minutes in. But we haven't stopped there. In the last year, we hired engineers, lots of engineers. I want to tell you a little bit about what this engineer has been doing. But before we do that, I want to tell you about how we focus and what we think of when we go to work every morning, which is our North Star. So what is a North Star? Everyone should have one. Every company should have one thing that guides them when they have to make a decision. We're 200 employees at Talkdesk. Some of us are in San Francisco. Some of us are in Lisbon, Portugal. Some of us are all over the place. We come to work every day. We need to have one shared direction, one thing we're pointing at, and we have to make a decision between this way or the other way. We know where to go. This is our North Star. And if you ask us what our North Star is your customer. You see, we're a pretty interesting product. You are all here our customers, but we actually live to serve yours. Our product actually is designed to serve your customers, despite the fact that you are our customers. So we designed Talkdesk to enable brilliant interactions between you and your customers every single time. This is what we're trying to do. One of the examples for that is our Intelligent Reconnect feature. I know many of our customers turn on, some have not. The Intelligent Reconnect feature solved one of the biggest frustrations in call centers. You've all been through it. You call customer service. You dial 1 for this, 2 for this. You listen for the messages. Then you wait on the line. Then you get to an agent. Then you explain your whole life story to this agent. And then you go through a tunnel and whoops, the call disconnects. Did it happen to any of you ever? Yes. When I asked if it happened to any of you, you clap as an answer. Did it happen to any of you? I feel like by the time you finish the day, you're going to know all the rules. So it happened to everyone. Actually, every single person I ever talked with said, yes, it's happened to me. Intelligent Reconnect, just when the call drops, immediately reconnect you to the same agent you talked with. But if this agent is busy, to a person most similar to them. This creates a brilliant customer interaction versus yet another disappointment because you had to wait online again and go through the same process for the second time. Features like showing an agent all the information about the customer, all of them are these, tools for supervisors, all designed to allow this brilliant customer interaction every single time. In the last year, in the last quarter alone, we launched 2 meaningful features. One of them is Talkdesk Live. Talkdesk Live allows supervisors to keep a finger on a pulse and know exactly what happened with their team in every single moment of the day. They can see what happened in ring groups, what's the wait time, who is available, who is not. And at the end of the day, they can take action directly from Talkdesk Live. So no longer people waiting online for too long. If you see something happen, divert more people. Pretty easy way for supervisors that are actually one of the most important people in your call center to keep their finger on the pulse. The second large launch of this year was Talkdesk for Salesforce. It's a really meaningful launch for us because it's our deepest integration ever. As I said, we have 40 of them, but we actually went really far with the Salesforce integration. The first thing is we allow reps, agents, and supervisors to live within Salesforce. They never have to leave the Salesforce UI because this is what they're used to. So they can take calls, receive calls, look at reports, look at live reports, all within Salesforce. The second great innovation here is that we actually merged together the data between Salesforce and Talkdesk, and now we can create this really meaningful insights you could never have before. If you're in sales, you can easily see what's the best times to connect to customers. You no longer have to guess whether you have to have your team available making calls at 8:30 or 9:30. You can actually see it. If you're in service, you can know how much time you spend with customers based on their size. So you no longer have to spend all your time with the smallest customers or the least profitable customers. And all together is delivered in a typical Talkdesk out of the box, set it up in 5 minutes. I kid you not, you can set Talkdesk for Salesforce for your entire account in 5 minutes. And don't take my word for that. We launched Talkdesk on the App Exchange, and we have nothing but 5-star reviews ever since. But we're only starting. This is only what we've done last quarter. Today we have some really, really exciting launches. One of them is going to be about one of the key buzzwords of the industry in the last couple of years, omnichannel. So a lot of people come to us and say, what do you think about omnichannel? They expect us to say, really only voice matters because they know us for our voice product. And our answer is a bit more complex than this. Voice indeed is a predominant channel for real-time customer communication. People use it the most. But customer service is really all about context. And I would like to spend a minute explaining this idea. If you think of every customer communication, you can look at it 2 axes. Urgency from low to high and emotion from low to high. I think Emmanuel will touch on this a little bit in her presentation as well. A call can be highly emotional and highly urgent, or can be low emotional and low urgent. So think of email, for example. Email fits really well in these cases of low emotion, low urgency. You're using a business software, it has a bug that annoys you, you copy the log, you send an email, you expect an answer within a day, maybe a resolution within a couple of weeks. You're not too upset about it, it's not mission critical. Email is perfect. It works in cycles, it works exactly for this, low emotion, low urgency. Then if you look at text, SMS is great for this high urgency, low emotion type of interactions. Just like you're not going to break up with a girlfriend or boyfriend over text unless you're a Tinder user, and with this case, you're just going to swipe them out of the screen. You're not going to try to solve a complicated customer interaction with an SMS. If you try, you can do it at your peril because customers don't tend to respond really well to this very short, sorry, we're growing really fast, therefore we cannot serve you. So this is great for, hey, Instacart, I'm not home now. Can you deliver my groceries or put my groceries behind the planter? Thank you very much. Done. Easy for the customer, easy for the customer service center. Use it for that. But then voice is your prime tool for high emotion, high urgency. This is why you call Amex when your credit card is lost. Because not only you want them to cancel it right away, you also want them to reassure you that no transaction has been made on this card, and the new card is on its way, and everything is going to be okay. Voice is great for that because as human beings, we're trained, despite everything we say about millennials, we're genetically trained to understand other people's emotion, and in real time, we can solve them. This is why voice is so great. And video, which is becoming more and more popular for customer service and sales, is actually an extension of voice. It allows the agent to actually peek into your world. I'm sitting there and the agent can now see what I see, whether it's on my screen or whether it is the surrounding of me right now. So the agent can empathize with me even further. So, ready for some product demos? Yes. Okay, they got it. Question, class.